Okay, you lovely lot, so welcome to the beautiful Monk Hall Fishery, where we're going to be doing a bit of shallow fishing. I've got proper method envy already, Jamie.
I knew you would. I thought I was being nice giving you what you're doing today, and once I start doing this, I thought he's going to hate me today.
I want to swap already. So we're going to show you two completely different styles of shallow fishing. Like obviously the more conventional way that Jamie's doing with actual floats, not overshotting. And then you come on to me and all hell breaks loose, Jay, doesn't it? But the situations and obviously the venues that we fish as well,
yes,
like the Partridge and Herringbrook and Blundell's, where you're allowed to overshot, or if you're not allowed to overshot, you have another float on which goes through the middle of it, but it's still like overshotted.
Talk about a minute, right? We're doing Snake Lakey style summer F1 fishing, aren't we?
Yes.
That's what we want to focus on today. Fishing proper rigs or properly shotted rigs. And the sexy type of fishing, the stuff that I think you can read the most with.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? It's, this type of fishing has without a doubt, the delicate, short F1 shallow fishing, the last 2 years it's gone next level, hasn't it?
Oh, mate,
it's gone
ridiculous.
stupid. And I'd probably accredit that to most of the lads at Partridge that have done it, haven't they?
Yeah.
That they've took shallow fishing to a whole new level. That
I mean, gone are the days where you could just rock up with a shallow rig and just change the depth on it. You can't do that anymore.
yeah, one rig and multi-depth
Oh mate,
rig.
I was loving it. Oh, I need to put a bit of line on this, it'd be right. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah.
can't do it. You need top kits and different floats
lots
for different
and lots
situations.
of multiple rigs. And it potentially, if I were going myself, I'd probably have half a dozen at least rigs set up to do it properly.
Even I set up more than 2 rigs now.
Yeah.
You've got to.
You need a lot, but we've not gone for that today. I've not gone for every depth covered with every style of rig. In similar to the same rigs that we've got from the rig in a month, it's to cover the different scenarios. That's the more important thing.
Yeah.
And to show you when to change. We've got big do for out, so hopefully we will be able to see when to change, won't we? But for me, what I was going on about is that I definitely feel there's 2 ways to it. That you either need sexy, no thingy, no resistance of your float, nice falling rigs on some days when they're watching things.
Yeah.
Or you want hook 'em sells rigs.
So no, I think it's been best like the last few weeks where it's been freezing cold and then obviously really bright through the day. Them kind of rigs that you've just been talking about then have definitely been the best.
What, slow falling rigs?
Slow
nice
falling
rigs.
so they can watch it.
Yeah.
And they seem to have it. And it's a great indicator as well, Jay, isn't it? Of let the fish telling you where they are in your peg.
Yeah.
Basically, if your float's at that angle, you know what I mean, as it's coming through, you know that they're obviously not at the depth that you're at. Just stop talking.
They haven't done that. That's the first time they've done that.
Ridiculous. I've been feeding my peg for like an hour. I've not seen anything like that. It makes me sick. But no, joking apart, when he's holding that tight line and his float's coming through, if all the bites are coming there, you know they're shallower. Simple as that.
Yes.
Whereas usually what happens, especially with IJ, I don't know what you think, as soon as it settles, you get that bite because it just stops all of a sudden mid-water. Like, what was going on? They just nail it, don't they?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they see what's going on. But it something tends to happen, doesn't it? 'Cause it hasn't done it yet because it's not gone red hot.
No.
Where the slow falling rigs become inefficient, I'm going to say.
You foul up
miss too
loads
many
and
bites.
you miss too many bites, don't you? That's when my rigs come into play, innit?
Yes, or these little rigs.
Oh yeah, the little babby
dibber.
oh mate, yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a go at them in a bit.
I've never been one for them up until like probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've always thought, no, just using me diamondy ones and change the shotting on them. But mate, the dibbers, when it's shallow,
It's when you don't need to read your float. When you either get a bite or you don't.
My style of fishing, that folks.
But that's what it is, isn't it?
No, it is.
It's 18 inch and less or 16 inch and less.
Yeah, I was going to say.
When you've not got to read that bristle because they're not following it through the water.
No.
They're there at that depth. Then you want dibbers with minimal lashes pulling your lassie out.
Love that, mate.
Hopefully it'll come to that. After seeing them, I think we might. I've not caught one on that yet, but maybe we will now because there's a few fish. So I want to start fishing.
Yeah, go ahead.
But we're going to start with the deep rigs, shouldn't we? We've had a little go. We know there's fish there. In fact, I want to talk about bait first.
Go ahead.
In that, what dictates for you maggots or casters?
Right.
What dictate that? Because that's what this type of shallow fishing's.
For me,
pellets don't come into it.
For me, caster fishing is where I want to group my bait a little bit better, so I'll probably fishing a little bit further out. Saying blasting into them reeds or something.
Yeah.
You know, really hot days, that's where I'll be using casters. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Or if I want to group my bait a little bit more.
Would you? If you've got to feed a bit further with a catty, casters tend to be the choice.
Definitely. Oh, the other option would be if there's too many. I'm not going to say the word, but the 4-letter word.
Yeah.
Starts. Them kind of fish in the peg, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Then that's where, you know, noise makes a difference as well. Or just do a Jamie and just get pellets out and then go bother buying, do you? But no, it's one of the. I think if I Ide in Jays, you know,
you have to fish maggots,
especially on venues like this where they run with them.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's for shallow fishing. Pellet shallow for F1's. Flipping heck, it doesn't happen very, very often, does it?
No,
It's
it
not
doesn't.
right.
It
Because
doesn't.
maggots hold up in the water that much, they're so much better.
Pellets, they're just like, they're just gone down too quick, haven't they?
Yes.
You know what I
They
mean?
don't muck about. But for me, the main deciding factor as well with maggots or casters, I think maggots do sink a little bit slower, so it tends to keep them up a bit better. I always say this, we say this loads on our Q&A, don't we? For me, it's, do I need a line on the bottom as well?
Right.
If I need a line on the bottom, maggots win every single time.
Yeah,
'Cause you
100%.
never really catch that well over casters on deck, do you? Not as well as
No,
you would
not anymore.
maggots.
I used to. I used to love, folks, fishing maggots over casters. You know, like putting loads of bait in and then putting like double white or double red maggot on, or a worm's head or something. But it's definitely not worked the last, I'm going to say, as far back as 6-7 years. I've not done it. It's always been maggots or pellets.
Yeah, of course, they can do, can't. Do you know when it can? Do you know when it's mega?
Go ahead.
When there's barbel in the lake.
Oh, Barbel love casters. They do, literally.
There's barbel
love
in there.
casters.
You can fish shallow for other species and have a deck line for barbel. How good? Oh, I haven't caught barbel for ages.
Oh, stop it, mate. Stop
But
it.
anyway, right,
It's
onto
swirling
the
like
fishing.
mad, mate.
So we're feeding maggots constantly. And first thing I want to talk about as well, when it comes to feeding them, shallow fishing, the feeding dictates.
Yeah.
It's got to change all the time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
For me, and it's my dad, I've got to give credit to that, Stay Open Shore, feeding with a catty, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Screw it so much better, can't you?
Yes,
Is that what you're
depending
having?
on the weather, for me it slows you down, and that's the key thing.
Right, yeah. Because definitely. You mentioned this to me before a few years ago, says, because obviously my hand's always in my bait tub. I'm giving it that all the time, It's not grouped as well as what you'll see Jay doing with his catapult, but more than that is that I'm just getting too giddy, a lot of fish there, and I'm just feeding too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fish are like literally everywhere.
They go crazy.
Whereas
don't
you
they?
say, if you're slowing it down with a catapult, you are slowing your fishing down, and you're getting them at a certain depth, within a few inches, innit?
It avoids chaos, doesn't it?
Definitely. But like so today, we've got, it's freezing, folks. Trust me,
is
I
proper
can't
cold.
stop crying. It's probably northeasterly wind, and it's in our face. If we was to lose feed, it'd just be a car.
Yeah, I
It'd be
couldn't.
everywhere.
I've tried a few times. I actually
Look at
can't
them.
when I want to fish
You've got
today.
big deep on them, Rich. That is ridiculous.
They're on it now. They haven't been though, have they? Literally, they've just come while
I've not
we've
seen
been.
anything like that.
Because
He's on
we've been feeding
best
nice.
peg again, any folks. You know what I mean?
But things like that, that's what dictates. Because a shallow line, we're both in the same opinion with that it
Yeah.
needs to be prepped.
100%.
Right,
You can't just go on it straight away. I mean,
On
me,
a
I'll
very
always say
special day,
like,
innit?
oh yeah, get ready.
You
with
get an
that.
odd one, but not
Come
very
on.
often.
It's usually an hour, isn't it, Jay? So you're starting off a cross or short, whatever.
Yeah.
But you've got to prime it. You've got to prime the shallow fishing.
Yeah, immediately as
100%.
well.
Yeah.
So I think we're just at that phase now when an F1 venue like this, Partridge, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is getting that way. The fishing's that good, you can catch shallow after half an hour. So you
Yeah.
feed, the whistle goes, and I'll start there, but I'll feed that straight away.
Yeah,
I mean, you feed your midline instantly because you want to catch him
I
shallow.
think
don't
that's
you?
worth talking about as well, is when you see people around you going shallow, you've got to get on them, because they're going to be catching, 2, 3 to your 1
if they
you're
start
not.
catching, yeah.
If,
Yeah, you've got to
especially
be
if you're
getting fed,
across
haven't
and
it?
that, you're just not going to catch them up, are you? It's ridiculous how quick it is. Do you remember the other thing I used to do with shallow fishing, Jay? I used to swear by it. Remember, I used to put loads and loads of baiting down the middle, like big pots of a massive
Yeah.
height. Just
Still
got
do
loads
that?
of fish there. There's times when, to be fair, I still do it. But in my way of thinking is just get loads of fish in. Not interested in fishing on the bottom, then draw them up. But you don't need to.
No, just keep throwing
Fish are in
maggots at
front
them.
of you, just keep putting that bait in. I just like feeding.
Yes. So yeah, we want to do it sexy and properly. So
Yes.
I've been feeding these maggots for ages.
So you know the shallow, like proper shallow, swirling. What rig are you still going to go on your deeper rig?
No.
You know
I was
they're
going to
there.
until we've seen that.
Yeah.
So it's looking for things that they show you. I'd say with shallow fishing itself, it's the most visual, and you see more than any other method, don't you?
Yeah.
And you have to respond to that with your rigs.
But obviously, if we hadn't seen that, you'd go straight onto one of
I'd
your
gone on my deeper ones.
and
I'd
then
start
see
on my
where they are.
deepest. In fact, we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. we
Forget
know
it.
what's
Let's do
gonna
it
happen.
anyway.
Yeah,
Pretend we
yeah.
haven't seen any, because I don't want to start on the bolt rigs. I want to end up on that.
Like that.
I mean, it's a bit back to front, because it's not often you see them like that,
No.
especially at the minute. It's the first time I've seen them this year, that. They ain't been playing, have they?
First time.
So, depths-wise,
These pegs. First time this year.
what I've got you're horrible. Right, I've got 2 rigs set up,
Yeah.
and I've even gone on to marking my pole. I'm with it, aren't I?
You are.
On it.
You are proper
Gave
on
Sophie
it.
some homework, said go mark that.
You wait till you see my top kits. I've gone like, yep, that's a foot, permanent marker. Yeah, that's
That'll
another foot,
do.
that'll do.
But yeah, it's just so I know exactly what I'm at, because I'm getting old now, so I've got to remember things.
It's right, mate. It's right. I think it generally within like a couple of inches. Well, it does make a big difference getting bites, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How often have we said that? Change your depth, come a bit shallower, go a little bit deeper, and thump.
How horrendous is shallow fishing for miss 4 bites, change something, a lassie comes out instantly, like 2 inch.
Yeah.
Horrendous, isn't it? You have to know what depth was best,
Definitely.
at what time, what date, whatever. So what I've got, I'm going to start with these 2 rigs first.
Yeah, man.
I mean, 2 sexy, slow-falling rigs. They both got Richie Wilson winter Maggies, which aren't obviously designed for this, but they're a lovely...
Just sit lovely, don't they, when they're coming through?
They just fish perfect for this, don't they? Especially for the Ides. And they're both shotted the same.
And you've got stots on them rather than shots.
I have, because I think you need it with shallow rigs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've changed probably last year before, because obviously with shots on your line, they just mark it too much, don't they? And you know what I mean?
You can't move them. You can't move shot. No matter what people say, you can't move shot on your line.
I do move shots, and it's not right, folks. It's not right.
No, with stots you can't you?
Yeah.
Stots,
The only trouble with
Hughes,
stots, obviously, we said before, they do move a bit. You know, when you're netting fish, but it doesn't take much to just thump back in position, does it?
I'd rather have it for the versatility.
I like that, mate.
I can move my shot, but if I want to, I can bulk it. Not that you would very often at that depth.
No.
Yeah, and less overshotting, but we're not going to touch on that too much. Probably not going to touch on that.
Yeah.
Hooking wise, I've gone weird, me. I'd rather just hook them now.
Jamie, what are you doing now?
I'm just hooking them.
No! You've got to side hook them.
No, I mean hook or band. I might side hook them.
Oh, right, okay, right, yeah.
I'm very, very early, especially with maggots.
Would you band a maggot then?
I have done lots in the past.
Oh, mate, it doesn't, yeah, just stays there like that. It doesn't even wriggle or anything, does it?
No, but it's still...
And then I'm like, I want you to wriggle out, mate. Be free, but that doesn't happen.
But no, I'm just hooking them now.
Hooking them but through the side?
Yeah.
Big hooks, light, fine,
Maybe not even
wire-ish.
always through the side. I might start hooking them, but always in a hook, just whacking them on now.
Yeah, I
think I'm just getting lazy, but yeah, I'm not finding... When I fish casters, yes, you've got to fish a banded caster.
Yeah.
But maggots, I'd rather impale them on a big 16 or a 14.
Yes. You've got to tell the lovely folks about that as well, Jay, using big hooks.
Yes.
Because it makes a massive difference. When them fish come in, suck the bait in, they just generally hook themselves on it pretty much, don't they?
Yeah.
And it hides it as well, I think, when you're side hooking it.
You reckon it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think so.
Definitely helps. So I'm going to go...
But hooks are so... I mean, you couldn't really get away with it with thicker hooks, would you? Like a 911 or something. But the finer hooks now, you know what I mean? You can definitely get away with it.
It is nice and easy, but big. You know what I mean? A pellet style of hook, isn't it? Like for me, I use them MXC1s in a 16. They just do everything.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's all you want is a big 16, but don't be afraid to put a 14 on.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on what a 14 is, because sizes of hooks mean nothing these days.
No, they're all over the place.
It just wants to be nice and
big.
So what I'm going to start, and I'm not fed for a bit to try and get them to calm down, I'm going to start me deep on 30 inches.
Yeah.
Just because it was really hard to start with, believe it or not.
30 inches? Is that how accurate you're being, Jay? 30 inches?
Yeah. That's my deep one. And then my shallow one there, that one's set at 24 inches.
So when I'm fishing, you can mark all my top kits.
And then I've got 18 inches. I'm pretty sure I just had a hailstone hit me.
Oh, it is doing something.
That's about right. So, let's catch a fish before we're going on, right?
Go ahead.
So I think for me, it's about laying that rig in. When you're fishing deeper, the slapping and tapping doesn't come into it anywhere near as much.
Oh, no.
So I'm not going to feed nothing yet. I'm going to talk about rigs and all that first. And if we catch one, great. If I lost a shot, something's not right.
I didn't sabotage it, mate.
You probably have. That was looking very sexy before we went in. Let's get that float sitting right, because it's been dry for a bit. So anyway, when I'm turning it over with this one, it's about keeping it tight. Yeah,
you're not going in for like multiples of times whacking it over, right?
No, you don't need to keep slapping it, because you're going to draw the fish too high up.
Yeah.
I don't want the fish, because I'm so deep.
Yeah.
I don't want the fish intercepting that maggot before my rig's nearly tight.
Yeah,
because I'm just going to miss bites.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of one over, turn it over, give it that fall all the way through, but keeping a tight line all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah.
If one has it, I'll either get a dip or they'll pull my lassie out.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's all the way through and nothing's intercepting it. See, right at the end, I had a little tiny dip.
It's mad, isn't it?
And that, for me now, it's... I'll keep laying my rig in for quite a bit to see what's happening.
Yeah.
If nothing's ever coming through, then when my rigs reach the full descent, or do you know what I mean, my rig's straight, I'd rather just start lifting like that.
Lift and drop it, mate.
Just give it almost a little lift and drop, isn't it? And if you're at the right depth on the right rig, your lassie comes out.
So the way I fish this foot, you couldn't really do that because I'll have a much longer line pulled up to float with back shots on, and you can't really get away with fishing like this because you just again miss too many bites.
Yeah.
You've got to sort of almost lift it up then drop it on its side, so it's, you know what I mean? You're on me, Rich. So you've got to lift the float up, drop it on its side, so it's sort of like coming back through that. No, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jay, don't you?
It's on. Oh, look at that one, big carp we just left.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
See how that one's pulled it. I don't know if we were on that, Rich.
Almost looked itself, didn't it?
Yeah. So I've deliberately.
It fell off.
That might have gone over the back of it. I mean, I'm deliberately not feeding now to try and fingy. That's done me, Andrew. There's something wrong with that.
Amateur.
Definitely something wrong with that.
You know what I mean? You pay to see professionals or you deal with amateurs.
So with hook length repaired, Andrew. I've stolen one of Andy's hook lengths.
I've just said actually, you know, joking apart, it does happen a lot. When there's a few fish there, especially when you get a carp swimming through, it's mad, isn't it?
Do you reckon it snaps on like another fish going through?
Yeah, 100%. 100% on its dorsal, something like that. Something sharp, just gone.
So, slapping over,
yeah.
And now I'm going to... I might start feeding in a minute.
I don't think you need to in your peg.
Don't need to on that one, do we?
But again, kept it nice and tight. You saw that then, folks. Kept it nice and tight. Hoink.
And pulled Lassie out.
Why are these Ide fighting?
I know, they're pulling in here, aren't they? They're not like lazy Ide, they're
like, I give up, net me. We need golden off. They are a golden off, but silver.
Is that what they are? They are off.
Silver off.
I suppose they are, aren't they? That's what an Ide is, isn't it?
They are, mate.
Sexy ones, aren't they? I told you they were good in here. They're less than 2 to a pound, aren't they?
Yeah, that's getting on for a pound, that, isn't it? You're not fed yet, have you?
No, I'm fed yet.
How dare he starve?
But we're not doing that. We're trying to explain. That's why I would have, but we're just trying to do it properly.
Don't worry,
like the professionals do.
I'll feed for you. Are you left the maggot on as well?
Yeah, it was sound.
You beast.
It was good. So back in, I just want to show. I'm hoping do forget to. Am I best flicking it the other way, Rich? What?
You're all right then.
I'm all right the way it was. So putting it in that way, like I say, it's keeping it tight all the way through.
We talk about it a bit, Jay, but do you worry about which way you do slap it in? So we've got this wind coming left to right.
I want to slap it downwind or away from my shadow. Shadow's more important than anything.
Okay. I've always said that, go with the wind, so it's going left to right, you slap it that way you're doing, but then I've had a few instances where you slap into the wind, so it's blowing it back and keeping everything tight, you know what I mean?
And it keeps it, well, surely it makes it loose if it's blowing back.
Well, no, because it's blowing your float as well as your rig, if you know what I mean, you eat loads then.
I'm with you, yeah. Right, we need to feed. So this is sitting nice though.
Probably just me.
Yeah, that's going all the way through with no indications.
Yeah.
So I'm,
it's because you're not blooming fed, Jamie.
No, it's not, but I think if I'd have fed, I wouldn't have been able to get my rig in the water.
Yeah.
You having that?
Yeah, I like that.
But see how low we got the float as well?
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
That was like proper dead nice, just a little...
I mean, in that situation though, Jay, obviously the fish come into it and just literally just suck it in and stay there like, oh, well, I've got the bait, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Whereas when they're charging around, that's when you get the more savage takes.
Yeah, get a little bit daft. See how nice that was? That was just
beautiful.
Lovely. But it's dead interesting that it's a bite and not a liner.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I kept getting liners, that's time to put that rig on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and come shallower. Obviously, liners and no bite, or liners and no fish. We reduce the depth, but we don't change the rig. We change to a different rig. So we need to keep that nice short latch, I think. It's getting towards
That's worth
that time.
mentioning as well, Jay. So obviously some fisheries, folks, you got to have minimum, 12 inches, some, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's worth, obviously, then going a little bit longer, I think, but then putting back shots on so you can keep your line tight. You've just got to basically go on, the absolute maximum of that, haven't you? Literally stick to 12 inches because there's so much harder to it the longer your line pulls up to float. Unless you're on overshotted rigs.
Yes, that fixes everything.
Right, so we started feeding, aren't we? So
I have, and
you're
dead
expecting,
important.
Jay, lot of line bites, a lot more activity now, mate, yeah?
Maybe not, I've just sort of left it just to hopefully let it calm down. Yeah, you see, I'm not lifting and dropping too much yet. I want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then just give it a little. So I'm teasing them, I'm fishing at the depth I'm fishing at, because I'm not catching any fish through the water just yet.
Yeah, man.
See them indications then?
Yep.
So I want my rig to work at the depth I've got it set at, because I think that's where they're feeding, or it could be where they're feeding.
Yeah.
See, nothing's happening there, so I'm going to feed over the top of my float
So
again.
we're letting your float tell you what's happening, aren't we? So little indications and missed bites or far-looking fish.
Yeah, that tells me when you have a stationary rig in the water, like fully extended, whatever you want to call it, straight in the water.
Yeah.
That's when it tells you what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah? And what's telling me, looking at that and the signs like fish swirling, tells me the fish are obviously shallower.
Yes, please.
Yes?
Yeah, definitely.
So, but by introducing a bit of bait now over the top of this rig, it's going to tell me exactly what's going on. Because I've still got the option, see, I'm not catching any with it hanging. I have still got the option of putting it through and clinging onto it if I want. But more than likely, see how that's gone then, but I've not hooked a fish. So it's telling me that that's 3 signs straight away with a couple of indications on the float, missing a bite then, that one pulling it on the descent, and the swirling as well. It's obvious, they tell you what to do.
The shallower, yeah.
And although you've caught one, it's going to be a more efficient way, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Just getting down to them quicker, isn't it?
Yeah,
where they want to be.
Well, it's hanging it at the right depth where they want to be, isn't it?
So you're saying that was half depth of your rig then, wasn't it?
Oh, that was nowhere near the bottom.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nowhere near the bottom, that one.
F1?
Bigfoot one.
F1's...
Might even be carps.
I think it's worth mentioning now, Jay, if we've not mentioned it, I don't think you mentioned it yet, about your short kits and your short threes or short fours, isn't it?
I'm on it now, mate.
For shallow fishing, folks, honestly, you've got to do what is necessary to stiffen your pole up.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference.
Yeah, I've gone full hog. I've gone short 3 and
no,
short
I've never
kit.
seen you with short kits, mate.
Haven't you?
You're on it now, aren't you?
I'm on it now. This year I've been on it. I used them on deck all day at Tunnel Barn yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, big daddy F1's.
That's a nice one, that, mate.
They're the ones
But yeah, no, whatever you can do to stiffen your pole up, just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Very
nice
chilly.
That, Jay. It's your kind of fish, that,
they're the ones we want. So, because that's not working, ditch the rig. Onto the next one, onto the shallower one. Yeah, it's only 5 inches shallower, 6 inches shallower. But the difference can be ridiculous. And for me, with shallow fishing, it's about getting into the, not the understanding, what's the best way of putting it? It's keeping in touch with your peg. It's the person that does it all the fastest wins. I mean, you don't want to swap rigs for no reason.
No.
It's whoever keeps in touch with fish the best.
Yeah.
Because it can be, it's mad on days. You can literally catch one fish on this rig now, and then I can go in and not get another one, and I've got to go back to my deeper one that's 5 inches deeper, and I'll catch. But it's knowing when to change as fast as possible and when to go back. Yeah. It's never a case of, I'll get one in a minute. You've got to respond as quickly as possible, because if you get ahead of someone,
be a few fish behind, aren't you?
Yeah, you fall behind so quick. You just before I go in. That wind is freezing. So that catty just groups it so much better than what I'd be able to do.
Your catapult does, Jay. I'm not convinced you, man. You'll have to see in a bit.
We'll have to have a look.
It seems to be spreading out.
Same style of rig, just smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 4x8 just because I'm really, really shallow. And I'm going to see if there's anything 5 inches shallower than where I was, which there should be.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not shallower again. I mean, I tend not to, unless something really obvious is happening, like fish are swirling, whatever else.
Again, that was shallower.
That was even shallower again, and that's foul hooked, but even shallower again. Little things like that, foul hook one, so go shallower again.
Good time for a little Bobby Dibber.
Potentially, innit? I wasn't expecting to catch on that. But that's what we should have gone on, because of the fish swirling.
Oh, yeah, we saw that, but obviously it's what we have done is gone what we would have done in match situations if we hadn't
how it'd be in a normal match, innit?
How it would have been.
Yes, how it'll be in a normal match is what we want.
And obviously straight away after that first fish, we know this rig's not right, because it's too, and we've seen them swirling. You're just looking for them signs, aren't we?
It is, isn't it? It's reading the peg is so important, isn't it?
Definitely.
Are we going to go in, or did that spook them all? We're going to go. No, let me have one more go on this. I should be going on dibber, but I would like to catch one on this before we come off it. Because I'm hoping that fish has spooked the peg a bit. You having that? What?
Yeah, no, have it. I don't think they'd have spooked too far, mate.
I don't think so, but I don't know. It feels that cold that we shouldn't be catching anything shallow.
Mate.
There we go. But that was right.
See that? So that was literally right at the bottom of that fall, folks.
Yeah. See how that was right for this rig? I shouldn't have had a dibber on. That was beautiful.
And the importance of having that short lash as well, Jay. It's massive, isn't it? Keeping everything tight.
Well, you don't strike at shallow bites, do you? You just simply don't strike anymore.
No, you don't need to, mate. Look at them. Jamie
the boys
Hughes.
are playing now as well. 8-teamers have arrived. I don't want to touch them. So cold.
Mate, I know. They're freezing. I think we should get Rich as our own hooker today.
Proper ones, then, man.
You can be our own hooker.
Rich is the handler of getting wetter.
Gilly, you can be our Gilly.
He's our carer, that's about it. Isn't he?
You have another do on that?
Yeah, one more. It's good, too good, isn't it?
It is.
You don't change it until there's a problem, do you?
I've got proper method envy, Jay.
Have you?
But no, I'm quite excited about going over what.
Jickery pokery?
Yeah.
Real good.
Good.
See, what I'm trying to do in my feed as well.
Yeah.
that with me jittery hands, it's a bit difficult. I'm trying to drop it just short of my float.
Oh, mate.
So I want to be on the back of my bait.
Yeah, I like that.
So what I've got a reflection on the water that I'm looking at, that I'm feeding it in the same spot on this reflection all the time. So yeah, there's 2 bites missed.
Yeah. How important is that, Jake? If you're constantly feeding past where you're fishing, all you end up doing is just pushing your fish too far out.
Yeah, they just spook back. I want to be where them 2 or 3 maggots land.
Yes.
Not where the bulk's landing, because
Yeah.
them big clever ones are at the back of it. So still holding that tight line, trying to hook themselves. I've had 3 indications on this now and not hooked one. Another one, 4.
Yeah.
It's time to come off. Yeah?
Yes.
And this is where I'm so stubborn, me. I'll try and catch one. I'll be like, oh, I'm not coming back without one. But often the best thing to do is whiz back, put that rig on, go straight in.
And again, that goes about what you were saying before about them anglers. They'd be on it quicker, they'd be straight back.
Keep ahead of the gang.
Definitely.
I'm going to give this 5 more seconds. If Lazzy doesn't come out, he's off it. There's one sucking in the grass here.
Mate, it could be swirling.
It's special here. See, just inefficient. Yeah, everything's gone a little bit higher than what I'm fishing. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to feed, I'm going to whiz in, and I'm going to put the dibber on. I ain't caught a fish on yet.
Have you not?
No, have we tried it? Yeah, we tried it with the camera.
Catch a fish, folks. That is
So,
for sure.
Onto dibber, mega shallow. What's that compared to this other one? This one is at
16.
16 inch. And
16 inch,
what's
innit?
that other one? 20.
24, that one, wasn't it?
Yes.
What I mean? I know my inches, folks.
On it. Mate, I can't believe. It's like, I feel like I broke the ice.
If you did, I don't want to catch any more fish. I've only had one for. I don't want to catch any more. It's too cold.
So
I can't
mega
grip my
shallow rig now,
fingers.
yeah.
Go ahead.
And now I've got bulk on.
So, are you going to be rotating the pole a lot more on this,
No,
Sanjay,
no,
making more noise?
With slapping and tapping and all that, I like to save it. I'd rather just put my rig in.
Really?
Yeah, well, do you know what I mean? I save it for later. I think that attracts them later. Because slapping's a weird one, innit? It either attracts them to it and they have it, or it bails all the fish out your bag.
Oh,
yeah?
Jamie,
Yeah, right rig, Lazzy out.
Yes, please.
That's exactly what we're on about. That's how it is, isn't it? Change it when it's right, it's on.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's not it now. That's not. Oh, I'll catch on this all day.
No, you'll have
That might be one fish.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of time you'll change 20, 30 times in a day.
Oh,
it's
mad.
unbelievable, isn't it?
But again,
Oh, that
efficiency.
proper
Those
pinged me that
anglers
one,
that
didn't it?
keep in touch with it quicker and change faster, they're the ones that.
They're the ones keep in touch with the fishies, innit?
Yeah, boy.
It'd be dead interesting to see if we get another one. That was an Ide that as well.
Was
So it's a
it?
different species.
What uplands? Are you going shorter uplands on this as well, Jay?
I've got 3 inch on all of them.
3 inch
I've
on
not
all of
gone
them?
daft. I've not got like a 6 inch rig because they're not doing that yet.
No.
I mean, they're hanging down a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I put a 6 or 8 inch rig on, I'd put a 2 inch on.
Yeah,
Horrible
like
things that they are.
Like that. So this bit, what he's done, I know we talk about it again, but what Jay's just done there, fed first, ship out, whack into it, because so there's fish waiting. It's so important. Can't not do that now, mate, when I'm fishing shallow. Got to feed first and ship out.
Give it a few. That's the only disadvantage with the catty thing, isn't it? That it does slow you down doing that.
Yeah, I
rather
think
than by
it's a
hand.
good thing though, isn't it? If you start windmilling and
Yes.
start in the other end, just getting them in a massive area, like, or a half moon, as I like to call it. Start off there and catch them all the way around. Get on the half moon, go on the half moon. Start off
That's
feeding
what
at
they
2 metres and come round in an arc to 8 metres. Lovely.
I've just missed 3 bites on this then. which is
You
very-
missed some bites.
Yeah, which you wouldn't expect on this. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
you
This is
wouldn't.
normally on, in, done.
In splosh.
See, they could even be shallower
They're even
again.
shallower, mate, aren't they?
Yeah. But what I'm going to try next is instead of putting a pole right above them,
Yeah.
I'm going to try a big long lash with a little shallow rig.
Oh, like a little flicky one then.
See, that took a while out though. Well, I want to see what this is. If it's an Ide,
Got to be.
I'm going to
anyway.
go in on a different rig. But if it's a big F1, I'll go back in on this. That could be a big, sexy F1 that.
Big swirly that, mate, isn't it? What about elastic wise, Jay? What are we on? Are we on soft elastics?
Fairly soft, yeah, but that could get angry. I'm on 10 to 12, but I'd happily go to 12 to 14.
You said something dead important. I think it was either earlier this year or last year. The ones who are doing really well at that shallow fishing with the short kits, they've got like no pulling, is it?
Heavy.
Elastic through, literally job done. Hook into fish, ship back, just pull.
Just pulling that.
And it's mad because F1 they do like follow you up more often than not, don't they? Just
If
pop
it
up,
was just F1s, I'd be happier to go heavier. The Ide make it that
fall off, don't they?
they do like falling off a lot. And here, if it was 1 or 2 Ide, I
These
wouldn't
are
be bothered.
angry, are. These are like they'd hold on a bit.
They are, but if you put a 12 to 14 on, they'd go ooh, ooh, ooh,
Ow,
wouldn't they?
it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, they wouldn't like it. Yeah, the Ide are the dictator and the elastic, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
F1's, I'd step up one. It's not using a puller and gliding them.
Yeah.
I mean, Bennett's taught us that, and how you play your fish.
Ridiculous.
There's none of the erraticness of puller kits yanked all over the place.
No.
There's just
nice and smooth, shit back. Just keep pulling in it, basically.
yes, constant slow pressure in it.
Crying, mate. Crying.
Nice.
No, just streaming, man. Go ahead.
You're gonna get a quick one. I believe how cold we are then. There's some moaning today about the out temperature, aren't we? Well, there's a lot of bites at this depth still.
Yeah.
So maybe I got it wrong. Maybe they are even. There could be some shallower. See, I'm missing them. So I'm definitely going to try that long lash. I would like to have had a shallower rig again.
Yeah.
I mean, a 10-incher even.
So you wouldn't take depth off this and use this and slap it a little bit more?
You could, but it's not as efficient as having one properly done for it, is it?
Again, you still miss bites on it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, maybe. But we might not yet because it's not quite cold enough yet for them to be moody.
No.
So I might get away with this big long rig I'm going to try next. See, they're still swirling there though.
Yeah, so they're proper, aren't they?
Yeah, and that was a big Colossus F1 as well, that. So it could be the F1s that are shallow.
And it's mad how shallow they'll come, Jane. You not even see them sometimes, isn't it? Covey Farm's a prime example. They'll come 6 inches deep and you not even see them swirl. It's mad. It's ridiculous.
But it's because they don't hang up to the. When they're swirling, it's Ide, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think F1s swirl very often.
Just come up and
Because
then.
F1s come from down and turn over.
Yeah.
See, I've missed like 3 or 4 bites on this again.
Have you? I've not noticed.
Well, see, me feeding's like. It's slow. It's not like shallow fishing where you're constant pinging. It's just. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice, civilised, just feed. And I think with how maggots sink, because they sink at what, 5 seconds a foot?
Yeah, they're slow, aren't they?
I've got a 10-second window while them baits are still in me peg.
Yeah.
See, not had one. See, it's gone. But I caught them 2 quick ones on it.
Yeah.
And then this rig were useless. So even when it's absolutely solid and you're catching £150, it's amazing how often you have to keep swapping.
Keep changing.
So I'm going to try my longer one first.
Is that because you think they might be spooking off the pole tip?
A little bit, yeah, and maybe a little bit of a slower fall.
Some of this has been all I've been using the last few weeks.
Is it?
A little flip rig like this.
This one's got a thing on. I'm going to band one on, just because it wasn't meant to have a band on, but it has. So it's getting a banded maggot.
I'll go ahead, mate.
Because I can't be asked changing my hook length in front of the camera.
Do a Rich and just bite the band off.
I thought about it, but it's only got a little look on, so I thought no.
Just a beast, Rich.
Angry, isn't he?
Yeah.
You taught him everything. Definitely learned off you, it ain't off me.
Sorry, Richard. Learn off him, mate, not me.
Right. It's a different rig. Oh, tell you what they have started doing? They started fizzing, which is a bit weird. But say a little girly rig off the back end now, but see how I'm holding it right tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd happily put a back shot on this. In fact, I should have before we started filming.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need a back shot on that just to hold it tight, but to keep that pole away.
Oh.
Yeah, and see I'm starting to get a lot more bites?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be under that tappy, nasty pole, but they do want to be really, really shallow. Yeah, we'll see how many we're missing.
Yeah.
Great, that's all because of the lash length, isn't it?
This is like how I'd like to fish it. You know what you're doing now with back shots on a longer line. I love fishing it like this. Slower fall, but it's nowhere near as efficient when you get a load rocking up in your peg. You've got to go more direct.
Better for Ide, this, isn't it?
Oh, mate. Stop it, Jamie.
I'm going to put 2 on and really hold it tight.
Stop it, mate.
Can't even feel my fingers.
Id first, Chuck. You feeling it?
What are you going for? Ids or F1's?
I reckon they're Ids, mate.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
It's better. See, holding it. Got to support the back shot still, because otherwise my float won't turn over. Yeah. The difference, how mad's that?
Might not be an Id. No, said it'd be an F1, didn't I?
Yeah, that's not an Id.
Just snarled up in F1s, didn't you?
That's what we catch.
Oh.
So we can glide them in like that. I was just one pull, none of this.
Love it.
Just one pull, lift up, job done, £2 in net.
Love it.
Woo!
That definitely slower through the water one is where they want to be.
Yes.
Innit? Rather than just at a fixed depth.
They want sexy today, not. Well, it's how it's been everywhere, hasn't it? We're not cold enough. Well, we're still too cold for.
Yeah.
For nice. I'm not liking this long line rig with this wind. It's not going to help. Not going to feed out. It's
Go on, the song thrush is.
Is that what that is?
Song thrush. Oh, we didn't have a bird, did we?
We never said song thrush as being the bird. Ain't nothing that one. Let's give him some bait. Oh, that'll be on.
Already the difference, mate, isn't it?
It's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, just by swapping rigs. That was at the same depth, that rig as well, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm having lots falling off today. I think I'm being a bit violent with them. So I'm not going to feed again yet because I've just fed. So it's holding that pole right up.
Yeah, man.
How does refraction work? Does that mean that they won't be able to see it as well and it'll be at a different angle or something, Rich?
I hope you asked Rich and not... Yeah, he did.
I definitely didn't ask you that one. It changes it a bit, doesn't it? So it's by holding it higher, it sort of holds it further away as well. Am I talking crap?
Yeah.
I'll put diagram on.
Diagram. Can't feel my fingers.
Why the hell are you talking about refractions with fishing?
Every rig seems to be out one fish job, doesn't it? Or maybe two.
That's what it's been though, isn't it? It's literally everywhere we've been
clever.
for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I like that though.
Can't settle them anywhere.
It means you can stay ahead of people because of that.
Yeah.
You just need to be the non-lazy one, don't you?
Yes. Again, if you're first to move, knowing that, no, I'm not going to try and catch a third one, come off it, go somewhere else.
Yeah, see, this ain't got a bite. And this rig I could if I wanted. This is the one I could move about. This is my versatile rig that if I want, I could make that deeper.
Go deeper, yeah.
I mean, I'll probably catch fish off it. Yeah, we're going to give it, what we're going to give it. Let's pull it on my marker so we know. I'm going to give it 6 inches more. Yeah? I'm going to top of that back shot.
You've changed, Jamie.
6 inches more. 6 inches more, and yeah, I'll watch the difference. It's a joke. This
nuts.
just makes you hate fish.
Sorry to interrupt the viewing, folks, but please, please, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Now go, I need to get back to me fishing.
6 inches added onto that, Andrew. And hopefully this will give us the perfect example
Right,
of how horrible fishies are and how clued up you have to be to keep in touch with them.
Go on, the fishies.
No, not an instant one. Well,
It was right at the bottom of that fall.
that'd have been posh, that, if I could have done that.
Right at the bottom of that fall.
Just having it.
It's a busy day's fishing, isn't it, when it's like this?
It is, isn't it?
But how quick does it go when it's like that as well?
I'm really not liking a long line rig today.
No.
So that's the wind that's making that rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're going to bin that. But it's having options, isn't it? It's ridiculous how many different types, different depths.
Everything. So
whatever of rig you
had like
need.
2 top kits set up, it's just not enough. You need more. It's changed, hasn't it?
It is. Well, the lads, again, I keep bringing up Partridge, but that is the home of shallow fishing for me.
Yeah.
The lads that fish there literally have 6 top kits with the rigs ready on that they fish shallow with.
Yeah.
If not more.
It's got like 2 to 4 inch intervals as well, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, so the intervals tend to change as well, don't they? Like at the minute, they're a bit big.
Yeah.
Because they could be a bit deeper and they're still in a bit wintry mode, or they're not competing. In the summer, then increments can be like 2 inch difference, can't they, between every
definitely.
rig?
Yeah.
What's that? That's something weird. It's sparrowhawk.
No, it's a kestrel.
Kestrel. Yeah. I like a kestrel.
Oh,
I like that. Back to the proper, bit
just
deeper rig.
after that lift, wasn't it? That. Be-ding.
Just
Going back for a feed on your maggots, that mate.
He's gone a bit deeper, hasn't he?
Come back for a feed on his maggots, folks. Hoink. Hoink and
All the ids have gone. So he's
Yeah,
lifting slow. There's no panicking.
F1's
Just
have-
nice.
Hopefully they're all in my peg mids.
This is a daddy F1 hand.
The big doozer.
Might even be a corpse. So playing them different. There's none of that pulling. There's just slow, and it's just short kits, isn't it? Because you've got no flex in your top kit.
Yeah, I think they're amazing.
They stay straight.
Love them.
This one didn't let me glide it in. This was the one that I wanted to demonstrate with, and it's making me look like a knob instead. Cheers for that, mate.
If I was a fish, I'd be this fish.
You'd be the pain in the ass wild one.
I would be this one. And now I'm going to spit the hook out at you now as well, you know that.
Oh, right at the end and mess me rig up. I wouldn't get angry.
Top kit right through my eye. Go ahead, Jay. No, it's meant keeping in touch with them. Again, it just shows you're keeping in touch with the fish, isn't you?
It is, isn't it? And imagine you can get 4 of them ahead of someone. That's £10, isn't it? More. What are you aiming,
No,
£3?
2.5.
Well, what's going? He's had his COVID jab, right, and he's turned into a even weirder than he normally is.
He said I can have £10. Honestly, what is up with you?
Do you hear that? What? I can't even know what I'm saying. What? Ugh.
No, keeping in touch with them, Jay. That's what we're on about. It's so important, and hopefully, like, that's been well emphasised.
Yes.
Hasn't it?
Yes. I've caught enough now. I'm flipping freezing. Hopefully that's been a nice guide without overshotting, because obviously that's a whole
my
new
job.
range to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we want to talk about that on an individual video itself.
Absolutely.
So you're going to go and film right now.
Absolutely, mate. No, it's good that. It's really interesting, and it just goes to show the importance of having more than 2 top kits.
Yes. Multiple rigs and different types of rigs.
And
You
it's
know what I
that
mean?
feeding. That feeding's everything again, isn't it?
Yes.
With shallow fishing.
Nice and regular. But think about it that I always have that column in my head that I only ever want one lot of bait in the column. Yeah? Tell you what, right. Send your applications for my new partner in to Winning Ways and just message Rich, because I can't take no more.
No, mate, I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean? Be
Yeah,
one
I
lot
do.
of maggots, it's
Yes.
one lot within my
Yeah,
depth.
yeah.
And then it's on
And
to
obviously,
the
you know,
next one.
we haven't really touched it. Look at them now. We haven't really touched on it, but you've got that bit of pole behind you. So every now and again, stretch out a little bit for a bigger fish.
On back of your
Sometimes
bait.
trying left and right.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
interesting to talk about that though. I'm going to go a bit weird.
Yeah, because with the pole's
No
not there.
pole. The only time they've ever done that is when my pole's not in the peg. And I've seen power doing that a lot, and that can be a mega thing for shallow fishing. When it's not good, when it's 2 or 3 fish, is that you have to come off it, feed it, go on it, nail 2. Can't
What,
you?
and then just like...
And then come off it. I've seen that a lot. It's on the pooey days when you're only
Oh,
fishing
that-
for
I ca- yeah,
40,
that-
50 pounds, but I've seen that a lot. That's on the flat calm days when it's dead bright.
Right,
I mean,
okay.
when you've not drawn a very good peg where the wind's not blowing in, a bit like my pegs at the minute.
I know, I've seen it before where he's like, you know, when he's on his waggler and this, that and the other, and he's like obviously waiting rather than just chucking at everything. He's waiting for the right one, and the right opportunity.
Yeah, but no,
Well,
this
that's the
is-
same, isn't it?
This, no, not even close to being the same. You've got to get them into the feed, and then you can nick on it, catch a couple, and then you've got to come off it.
It's mad that. Oh, you've come off it and you like started
It's proper
feeding.
swirling, aren't they?
Yeah, that's nuts, mate.
Yeah. Just don't like it all. It's very clear in it.
You need white top kits, mate.
We'll go on it. Right, that went very off subject. Hopefully that's a little bit of an insight into shallow fishing. I will see you all very soon.